Bethany Manctalo here. Welcome to our Millwall fan show with some new voices, but the same focus. Just everything Millwall. Enjoy!
Welcome to the 2024-25 series of Millwall's No One Likes Us Talking's, our Millwall fan show. I'm your host, Myles Thornton, and with me I have the No One Likes Us Talking team of Stan Godwin, Dave Hart and Steve Warren.
Not everybody likes them, but they don't care.
Welcome back ahead of our third fixture this season. It wasn't what we wanted against Watford, was it? But away to Pompey in the Carabao Cup. It was a rare Carabao Cup win for Millwall. Welcome everybody. Stan, we'll start with you. I thought the tribute to Matty was great. How did you see it?
Well, yeah, I mean, it was good, but I tell you what really did impress me in all that, and what the club done and all that for him was absolutely spot on, right? But to me, the standout point in it all, and you know, you have to give credit where credit's due, because I sit on the coal blow, and then all of a sudden you can see the top of the away stand, and there was two banners come out from the Watford fans, you know, that Unreal Dominant had R.I.P. Matty and all that, and I just think that was a touch of class. I mean, I really thought that, and to be fair, there was a lot of people who was of the same view, but no, it was. I mean, it went okay. I mean, everybody done what they should have done at the time they should have done it, and it all went off okay. But that to what the Watford supporters done. I mean, that was just perfect, I felt. And you know, and you have to, you know, I put my bit on Twitter about it afterwards, thanking them and all that, and you know, they were fine, and no, it was all right.
Agreed.
It's a shame that we had to do it, but there we are. That's another story. But no, yeah.
Agreed, Stan. A fitting tribute. Dave, our new goalkeeper, Lucas Jensen, looks to be Matija Sarkic's replacement. Could you share your impressions on him?
Oh, well, firstly, I've got to agree with Stan about the banner. That was ace, top notch. Now, it doesn't matter what goalkeeper is going to come in after Matty's demise. It was terrible, shocking. But it doesn't matter who it is. They're going to have to really hit the floor running. They're going to add the emotion of living in his shadow, and they've just got to be on their game. So the first game is always going to be. I don't think he done much wrong on Saturday personally, and we played our other goalkeeper on Tuesday night in the Carabao Cup. So we've seen two goalkeepers in two games. One we lost, one we won. But it's going to be hard, but hopefully they're going to just be up for it, and there'll be an adequate or better replacement, which is going to be something to live up to.
Yeah, 100%. Steve, in a few sentences, how would you make our side more threatening to the opposition?
I think I'd start with Amaku. I think his pace and his control on the ball and his control at pace are dangerous. And I think he's pulling defenders wide, and that would leave a space in the middle. And I think Watford had two on him at one time. I think, if I'm being honest, I think the midfield needs to be a bit better with the passing going forward. I think even the goal on Tuesday was a mishit pass by us, which rebounded and got picked up by Honeyman, and then obviously Roman scored. But I think we need to do that. I think we need to stop kicking possession away as well. You know, we got possession, we're booting it up the field to a small striker who's never going to out-jump these big 6-foot centre-halves. So I think if we work on those sort of things, I think we will be more dangerous, because we will manage to get the ball to the strikers who are there just to score goals.
Agreed. Also, Steve, can I ask, how did you feel Alfie Massey done on his professional debut for Millwall?
Yeah, no, I thought he did really well. I thought he was controlled. He looked the part. He didn't look out of place. He didn't look pressured when pressure was on him. So yeah, I thought he did really well, and I think it was a good start, and hopefully more to come.
Well, that was a good intro, that one, to the show. We'll take a break there and hear about our sponsors, G&M Motors.
Hi, this is Jess Tuffield from G&M Motors. Operating from a modern and purpose-built facility in Milton Road, Gravesend, G&M Motors offers a complete range of new Honda cars and services. As well as new Hondas, we have an extensive range of used cars, including ex-Motability cars from a variety of manufacturers. Specialising in new Honda cars, G&M Motors has been retailing quality new and used vehicles to the people of Kent and South East London for over 4 decades. We have been a Honda dealership since 1972 and are the country's longest serving supplier of this renowned mark. Conveniently sited just 2 miles from the A2, 10 miles from the M25 and Dartford Crossing, visitors to our showroom are assured a warm welcome from our experienced and friendly staff. Our facilities include an on-site workshop capable of providing full vehicle servicing and repairs, as well as an extensive parts department offering genuine Honda parts and accessories. The expertise of our skilled mechanics is not limited to just Hondas, but extends to most makes and models of motor vehicles. Whatever your motoring needs, visit us at G&M Motors today. The newly extended hours of our G&M headquarters means that you can contact us from 8 a.m. till 6 p.m. on weekdays and 9 a.m. till 6 p.m. on Saturdays. To contact us, call us today on 01474 365 026.
Thank you, Jess. Debbie Julian's here. Don't forget to call Jess on 01474 365 026. G&M Motors have been dear friends of the Julians family for over 4 decades now. From my dad Lenny to me, Debbie, Lions together.
I'm your host, Myles Thornton, and with me I have the No One Likes Us talking team of Stan Godwin, Dave Hart and Steve Warren. Many thanks to our sponsor, G&M Motors. Why not go along, check the Hondas out and see what else they have on site at Gravesend. Our first guest, well, is a Lions legend and a Millwall fan. Man and boy, born in Greenwich and raised in Thamesmead, he was not inclined to follow the Addicts. He played for Millwall 322 times and kept the bench warm on 63 occasions. It all began in 2003, and with some goings and comings, it ended in January 2018 as he headed to Bristol Rovers. He's still kicking the ball and has just 759 league games under his belt. The last one was on Saturday against Truro City. Well, I know what happened in the 4th minute of that game. Let's welcome Tony Craig.
Good evening, gents. How are you?
All right, Tony, yeah.
Very well.
Evening, Tony.
Very well. Evening, mate. You all right?
Yes, very well, Fez. Good to talk to you again.
Good. Always a pleasure to be back on.
Yeah, Tony, great to talk to you again, mate. Another season, but in the National League South this time with Dorking Wanderers, as you head towards 800 league and cup appearances and your 40th birthday. What keeps you going as a playing statesman of the game?
Oh, do you know what? I just love the game. I feel very privileged and honoured to be a part of the game as long as I have. And I've always said, as long as I do myself justice on the pitch, when I mean that my body is capable of performing and performing at a level which I think personally is acceptable, and the pains is not as painful as they can be, then I'll play as long as I possibly can. I just love the game, and I just love giving my knowledge on to other pros whenever possible now.
Tony, Stan Godwin here, mate. We had Karl Bates last week. I know he thoroughly enjoys having you as his co-commentator for Millwall, as he's particularly amazed by your knowledge of the Millwall players and the opposition. But the question I've got to ask you, what's it like commentating with a man who drinks copious amounts of Bovril and is on the Norwich City risk register? I mean, what do you make of all of that, mate?
Well, I certainly know the Bovril one, but the Norwich risk thing, I didn't know that. But no, I'll be honest with you, Cole's been brilliant with myself. Let me come in and do something which I thoroughly enjoy. I love commentating. It's something which I'm passionate about, something which hopefully in a few years' time I'll see myself hopefully getting into. You know, I've been very fortunate. I've done other stuff with the BBC as well, which they finally kindly invited me in to go and do some other games. And thankfully Cole and Max at Millwall very kindly let me come in whenever possible, whenever my schedule lets me come in. And again, to obviously first and foremost, I want to come and see how obviously the club's getting on, but to go and watch the game live. And again, if I can help the club out in any way possible, then I will take that opportunity up.
Evening, Tony. It's Dave here.
Hello, Dave. You all right, mate?
Yes, I'm very good, thank you.
Good.
Privileged to watch you play. The enthusiasm you brought into your game was an inspiration to the team a lot of the time, and I thank you for that. But going back to the finish we had at the end of last season to stay in the Championship, you was in one of those end of season runs where captain of the 2017 winning playoff team. We have just lost our goalkeeper tragically and having difficulties getting players in. And our defeat to Watford was disappointing, but our win against Pompey was a boost. So the season's only just begun, but what are your thoughts on Millwall's chances this season?
I think it's going to be a steady season, personally. Obviously, I think everyone knows, and obviously the board are working hard behind the ball to try and bring new players in. Obviously, the squad's a little bit light at the moment, but again, it was brilliant to see Alfie Massey make his debut. You know, obviously coming through the academy, getting an opportunity in a game and like that against Portsmouth is brilliant, and that's what the club's all about, isn't it? You know, bringing youth team players, get that connection between the players and the fans going forward is fantastic. But since Chopper's come in, he's been he's done a fantastic job, hasn't he? You know, the way we finished the season was very, very strong. And unfortunately, at that time when you're on a run like that, you don't want the season to end. But obviously it did, and we got ourselves out of trouble. But this season, with the man at the helm at the moment, anything's possible, isn't it? You know, he certainly drives the team, the fans, the whole club as a whole. You know, it just seems a great togetherness there. So let's see where it takes us at the end of the season.
Absolutely, mate.
Hello, Tony. It's Steve here.
Hello, Steve.
Hi. It's great to speak with you. Like at the start of your Millwall career, we've now got an impressive lot of youngsters coming through. Have you been impressed by any who have featured in the sort of pre-season stuff and last season, and who may make big impressions in the coming year?
Yeah, no. Like I said, as I've just spoken about, Alfie coming through has been brilliant. I was very lucky to see him play in a few of the youth team games last season. You can tell he's a step up, and rightly so. He's got that opportunity, and give me due. When I watched the game Tuesday night, I think he grabbed it with both hands. You know, I think he applied himself exceptionally well. Obviously, SA's come in and done well. He's done well in patches. You know, there's still a project there. A long way to go. He's got to learn both sides of the game. But again, we've got a lot of exciting talent coming through behind them as well, which are obviously waiting for their chance. And to see players like that get an opportunity must be good for the players coming through, because they see like their end goal is to get a first team opportunity, and the path at Millwall, there could be a path opening for them. So it's an exciting future at the club for the up and coming youngsters.
Stand here again, Tony. I see you have Neil McManus with you at Dorking.
Yep.
He never made he never made a break into the first team at the Den. But how's he doing now?
Noel's doing well. Noel's as a man, he's a million miles per hour man. He sort of gives his best, and he's all in absolutely everything. He's sort of he's been at Dorking for a good number of years. I think 6-7 years he's been there. So he's part of the furniture. He's a player who runs all day for you. I think he's a player like myself, knows technically not the best, but they know their good parts of the game, and that is him to disrupt play and just to play simple. But he's a good character around the dressing room. He's lively. He's not the brightest spark in the world. I'll be perfectly honest with that. But again, he certainly has his moments. But he's a fantastic lad, and he hasn't changed from the young lad which I knew when he was in the youth team.
Right.
It's Dave again, Tony. Just one game into the Championship, and not many balls being kicked. Who do you see to be the main promotion challengers this season, and who do you think will be fighting relegation this season?
Well, that's a good question. I think the boys who come down from the Prem, obviously, I think Sheffield United, obviously Burnley, they'll certainly be there or there's about. For me, I think at dark horse, I think Middlesbrough will be up there. I think Michael Carrick's a very, very good manager. I think he certainly will make his way up to the top at some point. But he's certainly galvanised them. He's got a good playing philosophy. And I see them going strength to strength this season. Obviously, I think they're going to sign that Conway from Bristol City very, very soon, which is a very good, exciting, young attacking player. So I think they're certainly they'll be up there or thereabout, them teams. And I think the ones who could struggle, I think Derby could have a long season, to be honest with you. I just looking at the players that they've brought into the building and everything like the Championship is such a fantastic league, a hard league, and I suppose they're looking, hopefully momentum from last season will take them through, but again it's going to be some tough games for them ahead. And you look at Preston, obviously the upheaval they've had already with Ryan Lowe leaving so soon in the season, which is a difficult one because obviously he's brought his players in over the summer. They've adapted to his way of playing, and then all of a sudden they've got to get a new man at the helm who could change the philosophy completely differently. So he might have players in the building which might not suit the new manager's style of play, so they could be a struggling season for them. And it's an interesting season with Rooney as well, isn't it? At Plymouth, I think they sort of just about survived last season, and they've obviously signed a few, but they've lost a good number of their chunk of their good players from last season as well. So I think it could be a long season for them as well.
Yeah, well, I agree with you there, mate.
Hi, Tony. It's Steve again.
Hello, mate.
Hi, mate. Do you think that bringing in Tanganga permanently was a real coup, and landing Langstaff is potentially a great acquisition?
I think Langstaff's going to be a very, very good acquisition. I honestly do believe he deserves his opportunity at the Championship level. His numbers are staggering. Wherever he's been, he's scored goal, hasn't it? And I believe he got well over 40 goals one season, didn't he? And give him his due, he's had 2 seasons in League Two with Notts County, and he's done incredibly well. I think he's been over 30 goals each season. I could stand to be corrected on that, but the numbers are absolutely unbelievable at that level. Langstaff, obviously, he's a hard worker, great movement. I've been fortunate to play against him. Great movement. He's one of them. I think he likes the wingers to be close to him, or if they play a free up top or a target man with him, he likes to be tight with them and lives on scraps. But I can assure you, when he gets that opportunity, he will certainly put it away. Tanganga, I think that's a fantastic signing. A free transfer as well, experienced player. He's been there, done it, and certainly it took him a good number of games, didn't it, to find his feet when he come, but he hadn't played for so long. But it certainly, when he found his feet, he went from strength to strength. But the good thing with him, obviously he's a very, very good player himself, but he makes players around him look a lot better as well. And he uses class, doesn't he? He's very comfortable in possession, and whenever he defends, he don't seem to lose a duel. He isn't the most tallest centre-half in the world, but he certainly is a good in the air. And I think we're very, very fortunate to get Tanganga at Millwall Football Club. Yeah, I agree. What positions do you think we need to find reinforcements in? Oh, gee, get me in trouble with this question, can't you? But no, like I said, I think we're shy out wide, personally, with a bit more experience. People have been there and done it. Obviously, the ones who are filling there at the moment are doing really, really well. But I think we need a sort of an out-and-out winger who excites people, gets people off their seat, does things out of nothing, but they're hard to come by, because obviously it isn't just me all looking for them sort of players. You've got 20 other clubs in that level who are certainly looking for the same sort of player. But for me, I think maybe another centre forward. I know that put it up to 4, but it's just a different type to what we've got in the building at the moment. Someone maybe with a bit more presence up there who could sort of hold up the ball. And obviously, seeing Langstaff throughout his years, I think he becomes a better player when he has someone next to him. Tony, thank you very much for joining us. Before we get on to our prediction league, I want to ask you, I asked this to everybody that I talked to that's been involved with Dorking Wanderers. What's Mark White like? The amount of times I have that question asked. No, I'll be honest with you, he's a man who wears his heart on his sleeve. He's very passionate in what he does. Yes, obviously, we've got a show down there. Obviously, which people enjoy watching. Obviously, he shows his way on that programme, which obviously people make their opinions on. But off the pitch, he's a great bloke. He's someone who, when he promises you something, he comes through with it. And in football, there's a lot of people out there who promise you the world and don't come through with it. So I hold people high in life that if they promise you something, they come through with it and they keep their promises, then I hold them very high in high regard going forward. Love that, Tony. Well, thank you very much for joining us. As we say, before you leave us, we've got a new prediction league. We're going to ask you to predict 3 scores in the Championship. These results will be collated at the end of the season, and we'll know who of our guest hosts, panel, and regular reporters
are the best score predictors of the season. So there will be a prize, apparently. Here we go. What can I get a prediction for Norwich versus Blackburn, please, mate?
Norwich Blackburn, eh? I'm going to go for a 3-1 Norwich.
Love it. And Derby versus Middlesbrough next.
After saying Derby will struggle, I'm going to go for a 2-0 Middlesbrough.
And finally, but obviously the most obvious one, Millwall versus Bristol City.
Yeah, no, definitely. It seems like a good ground for us, hasn't it? We've had some fantastic results over the years, so I think we're going to win 2-1.
Love it. Well, Tony, thank you very much for joining us, mate. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for having me. Thank you.
Yeah, cheers, Tony.
Cheers, gents. Take care of yourself.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll take a break there and hear from myself and Stan Godwin talking about local community club, Bermondsey Town.
Bermondsey Town? You heard of them?
I have, but what about then?
They're a football club based in Rotherhithe. They're currently members of the Kent Football League Premier Division and play at the St Paul Sports Ground, Salter Road. They ground share with Fisher on match days. It's where the Millwall Lionesses, Romans and Pride play on Sundays.
Oh yeah, I know. Well, if Millwall are away, I'll get along.
Check out the fixtures and details on the Bermondsey Town website.
I will. I'll give it a go.
Well, that's a bit of an outdated ad, but we do play in the Kent County Division 1 West now. So get yourself down there on Saturday if you can. It's free to go in as well on Saturday, and probably I believe all home games this season. It's free entry, plus Bermondsey Town's goalkeeper coach Jason Campbell and the chairman Ozzy have put £50 each behind the bar for the fans to enjoy. So it's £100 behind the bar for the fans and free football. What more can you ask for? I'm your host, Myles Thornton, and with me I have the Millwall Lionesses talking team of Stan Godwin, Dave Hart and Steve Warren. If you're not travelling away with Millwall, why not watch Bermondsey Town, as I said, with myself and Stan, I believe. Stan, are you coming?
Well, I mean, that depends, mate. I mean, it depends on what Irene Dawes has got lined up for me, and I don't really need the earache that I'm likely to get if I'm down at Bermondsey or watching Bermondsey Town. So if it's possible, I'll go. But believe me, I don't need the earache from Irene Dawes, mate.
Well, if you do come, mate, there's £100 behind the bar, remember?
Oh, yeah, well, I've noted that. Don't worry about it. I didn't miss that point, yeah.
Okay, so let's hear from Ellis Barr now. Keep us updated, Ellis.
Hello, Ellis here, and I'm glad to be back talking about Millwall. I know many have watched my videos, so you will all know that I don't wear splints as much anymore. Thanks for your support along the way. It is now time to hear what all the Millwall teams are up to. Come on, Millwall!
Come on, Millwall, indeed. First up, let's hear from Paul Loding, Millwall Pride and Romans general manager. He's had an update and he's got an update for us on those teams and predictions for our prediction league.
Hi, it's Paul Loding at the Millwall Romans with a quick update for the week. Last weekend saw Millwall Romans and Millwall Pride playing at home on their first friendly of the season. We have been training throughout the season. We haven't really had a break at all, so it hasn't felt like pre-season as we've just been playing throughout. Romans kicked off first 10-15 minutes, absolutely diabolical from the Romans, conceding two very silly early goals, one being a penalty from a very aggressive Rob Bale challenge, and the second one with a defensive mistake. We sort of slowly got into the game there. We were missing a couple of players with some absences and holidays, but we didn't manage to get back into the game in terms of the result. But lots of positives to come out of the game. We started playing the way we were used to playing last season, knocking the ball around quite nice, creating chances, but just didn't seem to be able to put anything away, and ended up losing 3-1. Pride kicked off straight after, and probably sort of got going straight away rather than what the Romans were doing. But again, still didn't manage to beat them. It ended up 3-2 to AFC Muswell Hill. So congratulations for them on both games. But I say lots of positives to be taken out of both games. Not really too bothered about results at this stage in the season. More concerned with the performances. Great stuff from Millwall beating Portsmouth in the week. Up against Leyton Orient in the next round. I'm definitely going to try and get down for that game when that fixture gets announced. On to the predictions. Norwich Blackburn. I'm going to say Blackburn are going to take that 2-0. Derby Middlesbrough. I reckon Middlesbrough might just nick that 1-0. And of course, Bristol City Millwall. I reckon Millwall are going to continue their winning run after Portsmouth. I'm going to say 2-0 to Millwall.
Let's hear now from Jeff Burnige, who updates us on the Millwall Lionesses.
Millwall Lionesses begin their fourth season in the London and South East. Millwall Lionesses begin their fourth season in the London and South East Regional League with a home game against Saltdean at St Paul's Sports Ground, Rotherhithe, on Sunday. Kick-off is at 1:30. Joint managers Alex Russell and Adam Rowland have brought in several new players, but some problems with training facilities have hampered the build-up. However, pre-season friendlies have been against National League sides with mixed results, some good, some not so good. Further arrivals in the playing strength are possible by the time we entertain Barking on the 1st of September. Next Sunday's game against Ashford away has been cancelled due to Ashford having an FA Vars game. The draw for the Women's FA Cup has given us a draw at home against divisional rivals Ebbsfleet United. This game will be on the 22nd of September. Meanwhile, Ted Jones's under-18 side have played against senior opposition in pre-season, and they entertain Cambridge City at 10:30 on Saturday morning. This is this Saturday. But they travel to Margate next Saturday morning, the 24th.
We head to Ashton Gate this Saturday to face Bristol City. They were unlucky not to come away from Hull with all 3 points. They did manage to get a draw from that one. Having scored a late goal, they fell foul of giving away a late penalty in added time and shared the points with the Tigers. Their Carabao Cup tie ended in a slender defeat to Coventry City. As for us, a defeat should have never been against Watford, and a slender away win at Portsmouth in the Cup leaves us looking for league points at the 3 p.m. kickoff in the West Country. It's not on Sky Plus. Where do we see this one going then? We'll start with you, Stan. What do you reckon for this one?
I reckon we'll win 3-1.
How about you, Steve?
I reckon we're going to win 2-0.
And how about you, Dave?
I'm going to go for 1-0.
Millwall win, I take it.
Oh, absolutely. What about you, Myles?
I will go with 2-1 Millwall. So then we'll take it now to the other games in the prediction league. Norwich versus Blackburn. Stan, what would you make of that one?
Norwich versus Blackburn. I'll go for a Norwich win there of 2-0.
And how about Derby versus Middlesbrough?
Oh well, I reckon that'd be a 1-1 draw.
Steve, what would you say for Norwich versus Blackburn?
I'm going to go Norwich 2, Blackburn 1.
And what about Derby versus Middlesbrough?
I think Borough are going to win that 3-1.
And finally, Dave, what would you say for Norwich versus Blackburn?
I'm going to go for a 3-0 to Norwich.
And Derby versus Middlesbrough?
2-0 to Middlesbrough.
I'm going to go with Norwich versus Blackburn. I'm going to go 2-1 to Blackburn. And for Derby versus Middlesbrough, I'm going to go 4-1 to Middlesbrough. I think they played really, really well on Tuesday night, and then so I think they'll go and do the job against Derby. So 4-1 to Middlesbrough for that one. We'll take a quick break there and hear from Harvey Brown talking about the amazing Lions Food Hub.
Hi, Harvey Brown here. I am proud of the Lions Food Hub, which is jointly owned by Kelly and Ellen Webster, and they have been supporting families within our community for over 2 years on Millwall match days. If you would like to donate to them, they have a match day donation hub by the SE16 bar at Coldblow Lane, end of the ground, where they accept any food or money and toiletry donations. If you can help, any donations will be received with thanks.
I'm your host, Myles Thornton, and with me are the No One Likes Us Talking team of Stan Godwin, Dave Hart and Steve Warren. Your donations to the Lions Food Hub will make a significant difference. Weekday donations can be made at the Lions Centre. Our second guest is well remembered for his role in the movie The Bromley Boys, which has been enjoying revived popularity once again since the Ravens, Bromley, got promoted into League Two. He can also be found at the Lions Food Hub on match days as part of the donations team there. So let's say a big welcome and hello to Craig Wilson.
Hi there.
All right, Craig.
How are you?
I'm all right. And yourself?
All good, thank you.
Good.
Evening, Craig.
Evening.
Craig, it's great to have you on the show for the new season. How long ago was that Bromley Boys movie that portrayed the club entering into its dying embers? How long ago was that? What role did you play? And where can I watch it now?
So it was filmed in 2016 and released in 2018, and it depicted the 1969-1970 season when Bromley was practically on its heels. And it's still available to watch on Prime Video, Netflix, and still available on DVD. Mm. And I was one of the Bromley players, so it was a joy to make.
And it is a good watch. It's definitely worth watching. I've seen it several times. Great film.
Yeah, it's just a feel-good film. Like if you just need a good laugh, even if you're not a fan of football.
Very tongue-in-cheek.
Yes.
Yeah. Especially getting locked in.
Absolutely.
Craig, Stan here, mate. Back to Millwall. What do you make of the arrivals of Tanganga and the goalkeepers Jensen and Roberts and the striker Langstaff on permanent deals? What do you reckon they will bring to the team, mate?
Well, I think everyone's aware of Tanganga's ability. I mean, we all saw it last season, and I think a lot of us are actually surprised that we managed to get him back on a permanent deal. I think there's a lot of fans that would agree with me that we didn't think it would happen. And then with Jensen, he had one of the best clean sheet records in League One last season, and we all know ourselves how tough League One is. And then you've got Roberts coming in, who's great competition for him as well to push him all the way. He again had a great loan spell at Barnsley last season. And then with Langstaff, I mean, his goal scoring record speaks for himself. 28 goals in your first season in the Football League. And I think everyone's going to say, it's a big jump from League Two to the Championship. But, I mean, everyone asked those questions of Gregory and Morrison when they first started, and you can just see where they got with Millwall. So I have no doubts that he's going to be successful.
Evening, Graves. Dave here.
Hi, Dave.
How would you describe what Neil Harris brings to Millwall, his influence on Millwall? How would you sum it up?
Well, Neil Harris is Millwall. I think if you ask any fan to think of a player from Millwall, straight away you'd come up with Neil. He brings a wealth of knowledge about what it takes to be a successful player at the club. He understands everything the fans expect, and he expects it himself. He also brings a unity from the pitch to the stands, and I think everyone noticed that from his first game back at Southampton last season, when it was a very, very tough time for the club, and he built that connection back with the fans very quickly. And I think that's more or less what kept us up in the end.
Steve here, Craig.
Hi there, Steve.
Hi. With young players like Imaku, Essie and Alfie Messi, and they'll be hoping for more cameo roles this season, they're now part of the first team squad, but should they go out on loan if they don't get much playing time?
I don't believe Imaku or Essie should be going out on loan. I believe they've got a great chance to make a big impact this season. And it's a difficult one with Alfie because it's hard to judge after just a couple of appearances. But I think we'd all agree that he looked very good in his game against Pompey, calm, composed, and certainly didn't look out of place with the rest of the squad. And it also all depends on what happens between now and the end of the transfer window, and also if there's any other injuries. That all takes part in making decisions.
Yeah, what do you think of the benefits of the loan system, both in and out? You know, given that we'll be looking for good players, but if we get them in, then we're going to be shipping some out.
Yeah, I think the benefits of getting a player in on loan is typically the players come because they're not getting game time and they want to prove themselves, so they always put shift in. But then you've also got the downside sometimes where you think the player's thinking, this isn't my club and I want to go back and play for that other club. Sometimes there's that risk depending on the player. So there's ups and downs for in and out. Like if a player goes out from Millwall, it's not somewhere they're familiar with. If it doesn't gel in time there, it's difficult because if in the agreement they can't be recalled, they're stuck at a club they don't know. And it also mentally can be, are the club getting rid of me? Especially if it's a young player's mentality, are they getting rid of me? Getting ready to get rid of me. So it's a mental thing as well. But then it's also a chance for them to get experience, come back, and then apply that new found knowledge to their parent club.
Thank you for coming on the show. We look forward to hearing from you in the not too distant future. But before you leave us, we have a new prediction league. We'll ask you to predict 3 scores in the Championship. These results will be collated at the end of the season, and we'll know who of our guests, hosts, panel, and regular reporters are the best score predictors of the season. So here we go: Norwich versus Blackburn.
Oh. I'm going to go with a Norwich 1, Blackburn 2.
And how about Derby versus Middlesbrough?
I'm going Derby 0, Middlesbrough 1.
And of course, Millwall versus Bristol City.
I'm going to go with Bristol City 1, Millwall 2.
Craig, thank you very much, mate. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me.
All the best to you, Dean, Karen, and all the family.
Take care, everyone.
Cheers, Craig. Thank you very much.
Cheers. Bye.
Cheers, Craig.
Yeah, cheers, Craig.
Take care. Bye.
We'll take a break there and listen to Bethany Mantelow explain how you can support the Millwall Community Trust.
The Millwall Community Trust, something that I, Bethany Mantelow, admire for all that it does. The Trust was established in 1985, works to provide sporting, education, social and healthy lifestyle opportunities to the local community in Southwark, Lewisham, North Kent and the wider community. Its work is targeted at people of all ages, irrespective of race, gender or sexual orientation, and runs programmes aimed at tackling social exclusion, racism, knife crime, lack of employment opportunities for young people, mental health and disability issues. The Trust aims to be a progressive and campaigning charity that makes a difference to ordinary people's lives. Its work is undeniably essential to the local community. They have sponsorship opportunities to support this work. Email commercial@millwallcommunity.org.uk. I'll say that again. That is email commercial@millwallcommunity.org.uk. Please help if you can.
I'm your host, Myles Thornton, and with me I have the Millwall Lionesses talking team of Stan Godwin, Dave Hart and Steve Warren. If you can donate, you will help our Millwall Community Trust to deliver all their programmes across all age groups to people within our community. Well, we're all looking forward to the next game, but in the meantime, here are a few matters of interest for Millwall fans and those interested in football.
When Sunday comes, Millwall Lionesses entertain Saltdean at St Paul's Sports Ground, Rotherhithe in their first league game of the season. Kick-off is at 1:30pm and watch out for my rising star, Emma Squirrel, if she is playing. Go on, get down there and give the Lionesses the backing they deserve and see them return to where they belong in the top 2 tiers.
The Millwall Russia fans, who have a great profile in Moscow, are based in Churchill's pub. I still think it's called that. Anyway, they have produced a limited edition album, Max and the Jelly Deals, Behind the Wall. It's available from the Millwall supporters web store now. The price is just £5 and all the money goes to charity. You can also obtain a copy on match days from the MSC kiosk at the Den.
Are you a qualified coach? Our Millwall Community Trust is hiring football and sports development officer. Your primary goals will revolve around expanding the football development's offerings and managing the MCT's player performance pathway centres, soccer schools and holiday camps. If this sounds like a job for you, you can find out further details and an application form in the club's website news section. Closing date is Friday, August 23rd.
And just a reminder that Bermondsey Town are at home on Saturday, the 17th, as we open our league account against Parkwood Rangers. It's free entry, and there's £100 behind the bar waiting for the fans. So a drink per fan that comes in, and once £100 gone, well, hopefully you'll be there by kick-off anyway. Thank you very much, Steve, for joining us.
Thanks, Myles.
Thanks, Stan.
Yeah, cheers, Myles.
And thanks, Dave.
Thanks, Myles.
Don't forget you'll be able to listen to the No One Likes Us Talking team bring reports from our games both home and away for Lions, Lionesses, Romans and Pride, and also updates on Millwall Community Matters too on Maritime Radio, broadcasting on 96.5 FM. Additionally, find us on Instagram, Facebook and X, formerly Twitter, YouTube, Tumblr, Instagram and all popular podcast sites. Finally, let's not forget to keep it safe on the streets out there. Good night.
Our Millwall Fan Show is sponsored by G&M Motors of Gravesend, Honda dealers and much more. Thank you.